Most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are unfocused. They begin with hope. They begin with excitement. They begin with belief. But slowly, almost silently, their attention drifts. They start watching others instead of building themselves. They start comparing progress instead of creating progress. They start doubting their pace instead of trusting the process. And one day, without realizing it, they quit. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. This audiobook exists for one purpose: to bring your focus back to where it belongs. Not on others, not on trends, not on validation, but on you. Because the truth is simple. If you focus on everyone else, you lose. If you focus on yourself long enough, you win. Winning is not sudden. Winning is not flashy. Winning is not fast. Winning is built in silence. So slow down, let go of urgency, and listen carefully. Part 1. Why most people never win. Most people believe success is about talent. They believe some people are simply born lucky, gifted, or special. But talent without focus disappears. Gifted people quit every day because focus is harder than talent. Focus requires saying no. Focus requires patience. Focus requires boredom. And boredom is what most people cannot tolerate. They want excitement. They want recognition. They want fast results. But success does not reward impatience. It rewards endurance. Most people quit because the early phase feels unrewarding. No praise, no applause, no visible progress, just effort. And effort without recognition feels pointless to the untrained mind. But winners understand something different. They understand that results lag behind effort. The work always comes first, the reward always comes later. People confuse movement with progress. They stay busy, but they don't move forward. They plan, talk, research, and consume, but they don't execute. Execution requires focus, and focus requires eliminating distraction. Part 2. Comparison is the quiet killer. Comparison feels harmless. At first, you scroll, you observe, you measure. But slowly, comparison drains motivation. You begin questioning your pace. You begin doubting your ability. You begin feeling behind. But behind whom? Someone with a different background, different resources, different starting point? Comparison ignores context. It turns inspiration into pressure. The moment you measure yourself against someone else, you abandon your own timeline. And the fastest way to lose focus is to live inside someone else's progress. Winners do not compete with people. They compete with yesterday. They ask, am I learning? Am I improving? Am I more disciplined than before? That is enough. Part 3. The decision to focus inward. Focusing on yourself feels uncomfortable because it removes blame. When you focus inward, you see your excuses clearly. You see where you procrastinate, where you avoid discomfort, where you waste time. Most people avoid self-focus because it demands responsibility. But responsibility is freedom. When everything becomes your responsibility, everything becomes changeable. Self-focus is not selfish. It is strategic. It means building skill instead of image, strengthening discipline instead of seeking praise, improving silently instead of announcing plans. Quiet progress is powerful. The strongest moves are made without an audience. Part 4. Discipline is the real superpower. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. Motivation rises and falls. Discipline stays. Winners do not wait to feel motivated. They act because it is scheduled. They train when tired. They work when bored. They continue when uninspired. Discipline is built through repetition. The brain learns identity through action. Every time you show up, you teach yourself who you are. Small habits done daily create massive identity shifts. You don't need extreme effort. You need reliable effort. 1 focused hour every day beats 10 chaotic hours once a week. Consistency always wins. Always. Part 5. Destroying distractions. Distraction is not accidental. It is designed. Your attention is constantly being pulled outward. Notifications, news, social validation, endless information. But focus is finite. Every distraction steals energy from your goals. You must protect your attention aggressively. This means reducing noise, limiting opinions, creating boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your time or mind. Selective ignorance is a skill. Ignore what does not serve your direction. Focus is not found, it is defended. Part 6. The lonely season. There will be a phase where no one understands you. No encouragement, no support, no recognition. This phase is critical. It builds internal validation. You learn to continue without applause. Most people quit here because humans crave external feedback, but winners learn to self-validate. They continue because they believe. Loneliness is not failure, it is training. Part 7. Emotional control and mental stability. Winning requires emotional regulation. You cannot let mood dictate action. Some days you feel confident, some days you feel lost. Discipline ignores mood. Progress continues regardless. The ability to act without emotional alignment is a rare and powerful skill. Master your reactions. Do not let temporary emotions decide permanent outcomes. Part 8. Patience and the long game. Success takes longer than expected. Most people quit because their expectations are unrealistic. They want results without time. But growth is gradual. Invisible progress compounds. Trust the process. Time is not wasted if effort is consistent. Stay. Part 9. Becoming your own standard. Stop asking how to beat others. Ask how to improve yourself. Measure progress internally. Self-competition builds confidence. External competition builds insecurity. The goal is not perfection, it is alignment. Part 10. Identity shift. Becoming the person who wins. At some point, success stops being about effort and starts being about identity. Early on, you force yourself to act. Later, action becomes natural. This is the shift most people never reach. They try to do winning behaviors without ever becoming the kind of person who wins. But lasting success does not come from willpower. It comes from alignment. When your identity changes, discipline no longer feels heavy. You don't force consistency. You expect it from yourself. You don't debate showing up. Showing up is who you are. This is why temporary motivation fails. It does not change identity, but repetition does. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you reinforce a new self-image. Every time you work without recognition, you become internally strong. Every time you continue despite doubt, you rewrite your standards. You stop asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" and start asking, "What would the disciplined version of me do right now?" That question changes everything, because identity drives behavior, not the other way around. When you see yourself as someone who finishes, quitting becomes uncomfortable. When you see yourself as someone who trains daily, skipping feels unnatural. This is the moment when success accelerates, not because the work changed, but because you changed. Winners are not more motivated than others. They are more committed to who they are becoming. They protect their identity fiercely. They avoid environments that weaken it. They limit conversations that distract it. They remove habits that conflict with it. Because they understand this truth: your environment shapes your behavior, but your identity chooses your environment. Once you shift internally, external results follow automatically. This is why real success feels calm. No desperation, no rush, no noise, just alignment. You no longer chase success, you move in its direction naturally. And when challenges appear, because they always do, you don't panic, because this is no longer about a goal, it's about who you are. And the person you've become does not stop halfway. And remember this: focus on you until you win. Not until it's easy, not until it's comfortable, but until it's done. Stay disciplined, stay patient, stay focused. If you're committed to becoming better every day, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is for those who are building discipline, focus, and strength one day at a time. Thank you for watching. Stay focused, stay winning.